Hi Libra, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your June 2022 love reading. Thanks to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread. And the way it works is look at the past energies, present energies, and future energies between you and your main love interest. Once we get through all that, we will pull some oracle cards for some additional insight, and that's where the bridge and the gap dynamic comes into play. As far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Cosmic Tarot. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as the energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have Illusion. So this is the equivalent of the Moon card. So this could go one of two ways. Given that this is saying that this is the energy you brought to the connection, could just be saying that you might have been bringing some confusion toward the connection, maybe not being clear about what your feelings were around the situation, or likewise, it could just be saying that maybe you were confused by the way they were feeling in the connection. So either way, it looks like there was definitely some confusion in the past. And past energy on their side, we have the Ten of Swords. So this is Gemini energy here, and I mean, most Ten of Swords cards look pretty dramatic, but this one in particular looks really dramatic, right? So, could just be saying that maybe they were going through an ending. So, for some of you, that might have been why you were having a little bit of difficulty reading where they were coming from. Because if they were already going through a bit of a rough stretch in their lives, then they probably weren't able to show up in their best, in the best way toward the connection with you in the past. Now, for some of you, this could just be saying if you were being very confusing toward them, then they might have actually viewed it as, okay, well, I don't necessarily know where this is going, so they might have ended it with you. But yeah, for the majority of you, I feel like this is saying that this is more of a separate thing that they were going through in the past that was leaving you confused as to how they were feeling. All right, present energy on your side, we have the Prince of Arrows. So this is actually Gemini energy here. So it could just be saying that during Gemini season, you guys might feel compelled to actually reach out to this person, right? Maybe you're feeling a little bit more sure about how you do feel about them. And due to that, you might feel compelled to actually reach out to them. So yeah, it definitely looks like you're in the mood to communicate with them in the present. All right, present energy on their side, we have the Two of Cups, Cancer energy, and the Princess of Pentacles. So interesting to see these two cards come up because a big shift, of course, from the Ten of Swords, a huge, much more positive energy, which interestingly enough, chronologically speaking, this is the last 10 degrees of Gemini. This is the first 10 degrees of Cancer. So it could just be saying that it's a natural progression for them, that, okay, they come out of that energy, and now they will be feeling a lot more open to relationships in that regard. But at the same time, with the Princess of Pentacles, I feel like this is saying that they still might feel like it's a little bit out of their reach. So they could definitely be getting closer to being open to a relationship, but at the same time, they might still feel like, maybe the time isn't just right yet. And they may even come forward with an offer of sorts too, but I feel like it'd be more on the mild side because they're not fully ready to jump into something too deep. But definitely a big shift in energy for sure in a positive way. All right, future energy on your side, we have Fortune. So this is the equivalent to the Wheel of Fortune traditional tarot, which is Jupiter energy. And for you guys, actually, Jupiter recently moved into Aries, which is your opposite sign of relationships and partnerships. So it could just be saying that timing-wise, this is just a pretty positive time for things to move forward for you guys. You might even get some guidance on how best to handle the connection with this person, as far as you might get some signs and synchronicities coming to you, possibly through music or just in your dreams. But yeah, looks like this is saying that you will have some luck around the connection. And future energy on their side, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So not exactly the most romantic of energies, but at the same time, I feel like this is saying that this is them coming to the realization that they're ready to put in the work. So it does look like there is some desire to actually put things together there. You can see the flower in the middle of it. So yeah, I feel like this is saying that they're ready to see the connection grow and to put in the work to do so. This is a Virgo energy here, but yeah. pretty positive. Like I said, definitely not the most romantic of energies, but at least it represents that little bit of stability that they might have felt was lacking somewhat with that Princess of Pentacles we saw beneath the Two of Cups. All right, so bottom of the deck on your side, we have the King of Spades. So this is a court card for Leo. So it could just be saying that this is someone you might have even been friends with for a long time. So maybe that's what it was for you, where you might have known that they were going through an ending, let's say. So let's say they were in a connection. This is not going to be the case for all of you, I'm sure, but maybe for some of you. And this might give the past energy a little bit of context too. So possibly you knew they were in another connection, right? And maybe that connection came to an end and you were trying to feel out, okay, well, I have interest in this person, right? But I know they're going through an ending. This might not be the best time to cross that bridge with this person. So maybe you're just waiting to see them come through a bit of a healing cycle. And then you felt like, okay, now I'm ready to move toward the connection. Because what the reason why I say that is, for one, Leo energy for you guys is your 11th house of friendships. And then also, it always stands out to me, at least in the northern hemisphere, of course, when we think of Leo energy, that's the middle of summer, right? So you think of a lot of life. And if we look at the trees in the background there, they just don't have any leaves. It almost gives you that very autumnal feel to it. So that's primarily what I'm getting there, which is to say that you guys probably had those feelings for a long time, but for whatever reason, you might have hesitated to actually take action toward them. All right, and bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Three of Cups. So yeah, this is just saying if nothing else between this and the Two of Cups as well, could just be saying that at the very least, when they move toward Cancer season, which would be toward the end of June, looks like they're going to be in a much better energy, especially if they were going through that ending that we see there. So yeah, looks like this is just a energy of growth and healing on their part. This could usually represent celebratory type of energy too, and sometimes I view this as a bit of an energy among friends too. So yeah, for some of you, this could just be saying that you might have had a history together as friends up to this point, but haven't taken it to the romantic level just yet. All right, so moving on to your oracle cards. First, we'll see what we get from the Moonlight deck. I did pre-shuffle this deck, and what I'm looking for here is unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And I'll be looking for jumpers first, but if I shuffle for a while without any coming up, I'll actually just put the deck down and we'll pull cards that way. So let's see what we get. All right, so nothing's coming out. So what I'll do is I'll put the deck down for a second and just let me tune in and we'll pull a card. Okay, we'll take this one and now we'll see what we get from them to you. So first we'll see if we get a jumper, and if not, I'll just pull a card same way we did for your side. All right, got one there. So on your side, we have karma. There we go. It says, my life is falling apart and I'm struggling. Interesting. So I definitely don't see that for you guys in the present and the future. So this is a little bit of a spin here because I was seeing this side as more of an ending and you possibly being a little bit confused around what was going on with them. But for some of you, it might actually be the opposite, where you were the ones where, if you remember, I was saying for you guys, you might have been the ones who were bringing the confusion to the connection. And that could have been why. Maybe in the past, you guys were going through a really rough stretch in your lives, and this person didn't know quite what to think, right? If they were trying to give you some romantic attention and you were just going through some craziness in your own lives, you might not have even had the energy to reciprocate there. So they might have thought, okay, well, I guess this isn't going anywhere. So interesting spin there. And like I said, if this is your energy, it looks like at the very least in the present and future, you're definitely coming out of that. So that's the positive. But yeah, let's see what we have on their side. Okay. We have battle. It says, I tried my best to move on, but I can't seem to let you go. Interesting message there too, because again, so let's say you guys were going through whatever you were going through, especially because I said for some of you at the very least, it seems like you guys might have a past as friends. So maybe they were like, okay, Libra doesn't really seem to be bringing any energy toward the connection, right? Obviously, if you were going through your own things, that would make sense. So they might have decided to pull away with that Ten of Swords energy, and then with that Two of Cups energy, that could just be saying that there's a rekindling of those feelings, which in a way sounds textbook Mercury retrograde-ish, right? And then eclipse season energy as well. But yeah, so that could be what's going on there, where maybe there was just either you or possibly even both of you might have been going through some rough energies in the past, and now in the present and moving into the future, it just looks like you guys are both in a much better energy to actually put energy toward the connection. All right. Lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, and same situation as far as I pre-shuffled this one too, but I'm just looking for a single card here with relationship advice to wrap up with. Oh, almost have one there. And there we go. That doesn't want to go back in the deck, so let's see what you got. All right, we have Serendipity. There's the artwork, and the number is 18. So interesting, because that's the same number as the illusion card in the deck, but we'll see what it says. Okay, the relationship message says Spirit has a plan, and that plan is to place you in front of the right person at the right time. You have met or are about to meet someone vitally important to your journey, someone Spirit wants to bring into your life. Only divine forces can plan this meeting. It is out of your hands. Pay attention to the signs Spirit presents. So interesting message there, especially that last sentence where it says pay attention to the signs Spirit presents. Because that's what I was picking up on with that fortune energy, where, like I was saying, you might get some signs and synchronicities that might guide you forward with how best to tackle this situation and the connection. So yeah, hope that resonated with you guys. Like I said, it could have been a timing thing in the past where either you or both of you might have just been going through a rough stretch. Now you guys seem to be coming out of that, and the connection can move forward in a positive way now. So yeah, once again, hopefully that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.